Damar Hamlin continues to recover after a cardiac arrest at Monday night's game. Our 9 health expert, Dr. Payal Kohli, joining us now. Doctors say Damar Hamlin is showing this incredible improvement. Like, what do we know? Why is he just making these bounds? I mean, he's doing very well.
I am so pleased with this improvement, and I love it. It actually made me laugh out loud when they said that he did this, and you know,
his personality is
yes,
back. Like
and he's talking. So all of these signs, to me, the biggest thing that's emerging from this is his neurological recovery. He's moving his arms and legs. He's communicating meaningfully. He's following commands. There's no objective evidence that he's had long-lasting brain injury. There's no evidence he's had spinal cord injury because he fell backwards from a standing position, and you know that can damage your spinal nerves and impair your ability to move your arms and your legs. And the fact that the breathing tube came out in 2 days.
It's incredible.
When he was on his tummy just a couple of days ago because of the oxygen problem, he had fluid in his lungs. It to me shows A, that the medical care he's receiving is top notch. B, that CPR really did the trick. And C, he's 24-year-old organs, young, healthy organs really are going to recover hopefully well.
That's incredible. So what are we taking away? Maybe I should ask you specifically from the medical community. What do you take away from this particular event that we can learn more from in the future?
You know, the biggest lesson for every single one of us, medical and non-medical, is that CPR in a timely manner can save somebody's life. And for every minute that somebody doesn't get CPR, their chance of surviving goes down 7 to 10%. And 90% of people die with out-of-hospital cardiac arrest. So he's in that 10%. And in fact, we see that African Americans are overrepresented in the number of people that have arrests. So African American athletes are higher risk for arresting, and then they're higher risk for dying from those arrests. So he's really beat all the odds here. And I think, again, it's just a testament to the care that he got.
And not to move on from the injury, but I mean, he's a 24-year-old. You know, football is his life. He's got so much life and hopefully career left. What are the chances of being able to play football again after this, should he want to? Yeah,
you know, people do bounce back after cardiac arrest. We've seen athletes before that have had sudden cardiac arrest in the field, football players, hockey players, and they've come back and played again. So to me, as a cardiologist, before I would ever clear him to go back, my biggest question would be, what was the reason for that cardiac arrest? So, you know, for example, if somebody has a cardiac arrest in the setting of a heart attack, which we see in older individuals, my uncle in fact had that, that's a reversible cause. We don't put in defibrillators for those. The heart wasn't getting oxygen, the electricity misbehaved, you open up the blood vessels, you're fine, you don't need a defibrillator. On the other hand, if it was something that's structurally wrong with his heart, something congenitally that predisposes him from the electricity, like it's called long QT syndrome, his electricity takes a long time to reset, then there's no way I would let him back on that field without an inside defibrillator called an ICD or implantable cardiac defibrillator.
We're running out of time. I just want to ask you before you go, football is back on Sunday, right? Any way to screen for something like this happening? I mean, how do you prevent this from happening from other guys on the field?
You know, for me as a physician, that's the biggest thing, is that maybe we ought to look closer at our screening guidelines. Now, of course, there's a little bit of a balancing act here, because if we screen with EKGs, echoes to every athlete, we'll pick up more disease, but we'll also pick up more false positives. So in Europe, they do screen everybody with an ECG. Here in the United States, we do more selective screening for ECGs. But I think it's a really good reminder that perhaps we ought to relook at those screening guidelines and make sure, you know, given the numbers and all the arrests and everything, that we're still doing everything we can, balancing those, you know, not holding people back from playing if they can, but at the same time catching disease before it happens.
Okay, so much good information as usual, and just such great news that he is healing. The world has been rooting him on, and it's been great to see his recovery.